I'm on my way out to Tracy, California to one of our stores. We have a Nissan store out here. Guys, I'm one of the only sales coaches that is still grinding this just like you are. Every day, I'm in the grind, just like you. And one of my sales reps recently told me, boss, you're just so slow and just full of excuses. So I said, let's go through your daily plan. Let's see what your daily activities are about. And he really didn't have anything. He didn't even know what I was talking about. I'm like, come on, man, we've trained on this so many times. Let's go through your daily plan. When you get to work, what's the first thing you do? Just deer in the headlights. Guys, you're either making things happen or you're waiting for things to happen. And if you're waiting for things to happen, don't be upset about the results. That's what waiters get. They get low results. Okay? High performers make things happen. Okay, you got to put yourself on a daily program. You got to have a daily routine, a daily program of consistency. I'm just going to go through mine, and then I'm also going to tell you what I would do if I was selling cars on the line today. Okay? I haven't been on the line selling cars in over 10 years. I'm active daily. Okay, but when I was on the line, one of the things that separated me from everyone else is I didn't wait for things to happen. I wasn't that guy just waiting out on the post, hoping and praying I have a good day. First thing I did when I came to work is I did a full inventory walk. Even though I just checked it yesterday, I do a full inventory walk, including the trade wall, every single day. Because every day you go out there, even though you're viewing most of the time the same cars, you always see something different than the day before. And part of my program is I offer a switch vehicle on every customer as a way to get a bump when it comes time to closing the deal. So if I'm not familiar with my inventory and I don't have a switch vehicle in mind for every scenario, I don't have this offer to give. And this offer makes me a lot of money. The second thing I do is I'm the guy that sells a lot of vehicles off the trade wall. And when I sell vehicles off the trade wall, I gross the shit out of these. Because I pump these up and I say, guys, nobody has seen this car yet. You got the first opportunity to buy it. You'll save yourself some money. We haven't put any advertising into the cost of this vehicle yet. I can pass that savings down to you. And I pump this vehicle up and I make it very exclusive because no one's got an opportunity to set eyes on it yet. And I'll make good money on that vehicle. Okay, so first thing I do is I do a full inventory walk. Second thing I do is I go through my service drive. I pay my service writers $100 on the spot for any referrals that I sell. Most salespeople will offer $50 on payday. I bring $300-400. I usually bring $5,000 with me to work, just in case I find a deal that we can't take in on trade. I got the opportunity to buy it. But I always had cash on me for whatever the case I needed. But if my service advisors gave me a referral, as soon as that motherfucker was in finance, I walked back there and I slapped him $100. I'm the only one that got that call. Daily, you would hear my name paged throughout the dealership. Curtis, service drive, customer waiting. I already knew what that was. I had the service department working for me. After I did my round with my service department, first thing I did after that is I went and grinded the phones. I held myself to a 20 calls, 2-hour rule. I go sit down, I got to make 20 phone calls. Now, out of 20 phone calls, let's be realistic, you're going to talk to probably 5 people. I tracked all those calls. This was even before CRMs were popular. They had CRMs, I just didn't like using them at the time because it was new to us, right? So I had my own tracking system. It was pencil and paper. And I tracked what time I made those calls. I tracked what time I called each individual. So if I called this customer twice at 9:45 and I got no answers, I didn't call that customer at 9:45 no more. I made sure that was a after work call or whatever the case was. I mixed the times up. But I didn't just keep repeating the same thing that wasn't working. So I tracked those things. 20 calls, and then I can go stand outside for 2 hours max. I got 2 hours to get in front of a customer. If I can't get in front of a customer in 2 hours, I got to take my ass back inside and I got to make 20 more phone calls. And because I held myself accountable to that, two things happened. A, the phone calls always started paying residual. And I found myself having to stand outside less and less. And I also found myself not liking to stand outside with everybody else. I found it unproductive. So if I couldn't manage to have an appointment in front of me or a service customer in front of me, and it was my turn to go outside and stand out there for 2 hours, I was the most aggressive guy out there, and everybody knew it. Everybody knew if I walked outside, you weren't going to get an up, because I didn't necessarily want to be out there. I don't wear sunblock. I hate the way it feels, so I don't want to get my fucking head burned. So when I go outside, my goal is to get in front of a customer as quickly as I can. I didn't play by the lot rules. I didn't care if you've been standing outside for 4 hours. That's your fault, not my fault. If I'm walking outside, I'm getting in front of the next customer for two reasons. I don't like standing outside, and I don't want to go make 20 more phone calls. I get tired of making phone calls. I made on average 80 calls a day. But I worked my program. And as a result, I didn't have to work nearly as hard as everyone else. I usually sold a car by noon. I grossed very well because most of my customers were appointments or referrals from the service drive or something I set up the day before or a referral of a customer that I had sold. So most of the time these customers had some type of trust in me. So I was able to gross these customers very consistently. When I was on the line, I was known as a gross king. I was good at grossing, but I also set my customers up in advance, so it became a lot easier. As a result of my program, selling cars became a lot easier for me. I didn't have to work as hard. To be honest, most of the time I worked 10 to 3. I like to go to the gym in the morning. I'd show up at 10 o'clock. I'd sell a car. By 3 o'clock, I'd have my next day lined up and I'd go home. And nobody told me anything at all because I put money on the books. When you work your own program, you get different advantages. You get different benefits than the person who just walks out there and stands all day and hopes. Guys, put yourself on a program. If you're not on a program yet, if you're not working your own, routine consistently, then you can't say it's slow. It's only slow because you're making it slow. You're hoping and praying. Okay? Now, if I were to do this again today, you got to put social media in there. Social media is king. I talk to sales guys who still don't have a Facebook, don't have an Instagram. What are you doing? I mean, this is the only way young people even know how to communicate today. You have to have a social media presence. I would be filming content like crazy if I was selling cars on the line today. Okay? Every customer you sell, you need to get a customer testimony. Have them talk about how easy and efficient it was to do business with you. What are every customer's two main concerns? Don't want to waste time. They want to be efficient with their time. They want it to be easy. Okay? Have them talk about the very thing that people are afraid of. Okay? First-time buyer programs, second, third chance financing. These guys helped me when nobody else could. Good credit customers are just concerned about time. They cared about my time and they made it easy and fast for me to buy a car and get on my way. Use customer testimonies because they don't believe anything we say anyway, but they'll believe other people. So use customer testimonies, pump your content like crazy, have your customers spread your stuff on their Facebook, their IG, and just build that out there. But if you don't have a program and you're coming to work and you're just hoping and praying, then you don't have the right to say it's slow. You're just not putting in enough effort.